All right, so there are some buzzsaws, some power equipment, some power washing, it seems like, going on outside my apartment. So if you hear any buzzes or rubs and bumps and whatever, then hey, I apologize for the audio in this one. Also, I am almost recovered from my viral illness that had kind of taken over my life the past few days, so that's also pretty good too. But today's topic is a circling of the backseas to one Vancouver Canucks forward Conor Garland. Because earlier in today's show, we did speak about Conor Garland and the reports coming out about him and the Islanders. It was a really bad trade update for folks who wanted to see Garland find his way onto New York, because it seemed like, based off of some of the hearsay from Islanders beat reporters, the Islanders may not have been interested in giving up the assets that Vancouver would have wanted in a Garland trade. But make no mistake, that does not mean that Garland trade rumors are completely dead, even though Frank Saravalli said in yesterday's edition of Halford and Bruff that the likelihood that Conor Garland gets traded is about 15%, we have these reports that go out there and contradict that. Take a look at what Rick Dhaliwal said earlier this morning on Twitter. I mentioned Columbus is in on Garland yesterday. I am told that teams continue to check in on him. Nothing close right now, but there is good interest in this player. This is responding to a Jimmy Murphy tweet. Murphy's Law, 74. He, of course, does beat reporting for the Boston Bruins. I've been traveling all day, so apologies if this has been reported already, but I keep hearing Columbus is really in on Conor Garland. From what I'm told, the Bruins and the Islanders are still interested, but there is not a fit at this point. Dhaliwal replied, I mentioned Columbus yesterday, that they are poking around on Garland. The Bruins, though, trade destination for Conor Garland, that would not surprise me either. He has been linked to the Boston Bruins for quite a while, plus the fact that Garland is from Massachusetts sets up for a very easy link to go out there and make. But going back over onto the Pierre LeBrun side of things, take a look at this. Further to Rick here, I'm hearing Columbus, Washington, New Jersey, New York Islanders, San Jose, Boston. These are among the teams showing interest in Garland. Hey. That is a list of 6 teams right here, all interested in one dude out of Vancouver. And you're going to go out there and tell me there's a 15% chance he gets traded? I don't know. Now, no shade to Frank Saravalli for using that 15% number on the radio yesterday, but it is just quite interesting how interest seems to be at an all-time high for this dude, but the trade likelihood didn't really seem to increase from that radio hit. Taj went out there and tweeted this: there are 6 teams interested in Conor Garland. There is no excuse to not trade him. If you can't create a market when 6 teams are interested, then you shouldn't be running an NHL team. And then Rick Dhaliwal went out there and said, I believe the total is 8 teams with interest. 8 teams are in Conor Garland? Almost a third of the entire gosh darn league is interested in this guy? There needs to be a deal now. There needs to be a deal tomorrow. There needs to be something going on. If it's Columbus, Washington, New Jersey, New York, San Jose, Boston, and then 2 other teams legitimately showing interest in Conor Garland, then Patrick Allvin, this should be the easiest slam dunk trade of your life. Just make all of these guys bid against each other for this dude. Let's go out there and read some of the replies. Chris said, too many teams now. It'll only convolute things and make it too complex for this management team. Circle back next year, when Garland's no trade kicks in, and he decides where he wants to go. Yup. That is absolutely the case, eh? Vancouver is going to find a way to not make a trade, even though there are 8 teams interested, because they're overwhelmed with the decision-making and they can't make trades. Like, say what you want about Jack Thompson and Jet Wu. I know I'm very much a fan of that deal, but Vancouver hasn't really been doing a good job when it comes to making trades. other than the Quinn Hughes trade, which, I mean, you kind of had a low likelihood of messing that one up considering how good Quinn Hughes is, but then again, the Canucks did accept Minnesota's first offer on that deal. Let's go out there and read this over here too. OMG, the price better be sky high, as insiders like to say. And oh boy, we dodged an injury bullet last night. That's absolutely the case here too. Conor Garland almost got hurt in yesterday's game against the Carolina Hurricanes. He ended up leaving for a bit. And if things got bad to the point where he was actually out for a while, knock on wood, of course, nothing actually happens in that way, then Vancouver could have been losing out on their most valuable trade chip. So, yeah. I'm kind of thinking about it like this. You take a look at all these teams. So, Columbus, if Conor Garland goes over to Columbus, there are some really nice young pieces in that organization. Kent Johnson is having a difficult time staying in the lineup. He's in and out constantly. The recent injury to Boone Jenner has opened the door to giving Kent Johnson just a little bit more time to play. Washington, it seems like they are sellers already. They just traded away Nick Dowd, so I don't really know if they're actually going to be in on it, although the tweet that LeBrun made was made after the Nick Dowd trade went down. Although Conor Garland is signed for longer than Dowd, so maybe Washington would be interested in keeping him for a while there. New Jersey, I mean, the Hugheses probably like Conor Garland already. They probably know enough about him because of their brother Quinn. Not saying that New Jersey doesn't have any other players that would like Conor Garland, but they have some pretty young guys. They could make an intriguing pitch for Conor Garland. New York Islanders, same thing. You could honestly just use the same catchphrases and keywords as we did with the Brock Besser video with Conor Garland and the Islanders. San Jose Sharks, there was already a trade made today between San Jose and Vancouver, so obviously the Canucks might want to double dip in the same way Edmonton and Chicago did with each other earlier in the week. And then Boston also. I mean, they've forever been linked to Conor Garland, so this is a much easier connection to go out there and make, the Massachusetts connection and everything. So all this video is going to go out there and say is that there are a bunch of teams interested in Conor Garland. Columbus, Bruins, Islanders. Jimmy Murphy is saying that it's not a fit with those two teams. But Rick Dhaliwal and Pierre LeBrun are going out there and talking about how 8 teams could potentially be involved over here. It's a pretty interesting time to be a Vancouver Canucks fan. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about 8 teams having interest in Conor Garland. Where do you think this guy is going to get traded to? I'm just going to go out there and say he does get traded because that's probably the safe thing to assume. If he does not get traded and he stays in Vancouver until his no move kicks in, then oh my goodness, Patrick Allvin, you deserve the can. But with that said, thoughts in the comment section below about these Conor Garland trade updates. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.